Hello and welcome to Reinfused. Today we are taking a look at something from Tandy. Now, there's a whole thing going on in September called SepTandy. So if you look at all the hashtags that have the hashtag SepTandy, then you'll find a whole host of videos around that. Now, this was started mostly about computers because in America and a few other places, Tandy they released a whole host of computers. Now over here, and again in a few other places, including Australia, I believe, Tandy were actually kind of the range of shops, whereas in America, Radio Shack were the shops. Basically the same idea, but they would just kind of swap the names over. They're both the same company, effectively. So over here we knew kind of like the TRS-80 was the Radio Shack's computer, even though it's still the Tandy Radio Shack. But the actual Tandys were stores, amazing stores, by the way, especially for his little electrical gadgets. Now, because of that, the computers aren't that easy to get over here, but the actual little gadgets and stuff they used to get are, and some of those gadgets were things that they kind of rebranded from other manufacturers because this was a relatively common practice back then. And we're going to look at one of those now. Here it is. So, yeah, this is Tandy's 3D Sky Duel. Now, if you are a child of the 80s, or if you collect retro electronic games, then you'll probably recognise the overall shape and also these images on the back. Yeah, the box is not in great condition. Somebody has definitely taken a dislike to this whole thing. I'll talk about that in a minute, but yeah, and that's because this was licensed from Tomy. So there is some text about it, which we will talk about once we get it out the box. But yeah, Tomy made the Tomytronic 3D series of games, and this is actually one of them. Tomy had two names for this game. It was either Sky Fighters or it was Dogfight, and they also licensed it to, well, technically Radio Shack, again we'll get into that in a minute, to sell in Tandy stores, and they called it Sky Duel instead. It's the same game though. I say basically, it is exactly the same game. So we'll take it out and you can kind of get a look of what this looks like. It looks, I mean, they're all interesting devices. The newer ones, I would say, the later ones, are more interesting because they've got kind of a more rounded shape to them. They look nicer. But in terms of the box, yeah, like I say, it is falling apart, but we can see here, custom manufactured in Japan for Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Corporation. I mean, they say customed. I suspect what they really mean is, because I'm pretty sure this is basically identical to the original. Maybe it's a different colour, I can't remember. But yeah, other than this I think is definitely different, because I think it used to say Tomy on it, and it's got the Tandy catalogue number on the bottom. So I suspect those are the only things really that have changed, because there aren't any Tandy things elsewhere on it. Oh no, there is. I take it back. So there is a custom moulding. So fair enough. You know what? That does count for being custom then. The way this works is it's got two panels in it, LCD panels, that basically just show, well, effectively static images, but one of them has images in a different location, like the old games used to work. But it also has this light thing in the middle where light comes in. And I said that someone seemed to hate this because they've gouged, I don't know if you can get a good thing of that. There you go. They've gouged crosses in all of these panels. So, and of course written all over the box and stuff. So somebody definitely took a bit of a dislike to this. They possibly worked out how limited the game was. Yeah, so the light comes through these wells and through the front as well, and it gives a sort of 3D effect. Not really, it's not a really huge, great effect. I'll try to get it. Obviously, getting these things on camera, like the Virtual Boy, the reason why I've done a good Virtual Boy video yet is because I'm just trying to work out how to get a decent video of it. It's pretty hard, but so I'll get a picture of what it looks like inside. But yeah, it's a very simple game. You've got a plane, two other planes appear, and you have to get behind them to shoot them down and stay behind them. And you've got this one button really. There's two of them, but they both do the same thing. And at different points, which are marked by clouds, you can change kind of where your plane's going to try to get behind them and shoot them. And you have to stop them doing the same to you. Very simple. When you're a kid, though, it's quite interesting. It's really colourful as well, which also obviously helps. So, I say then we'll probably take a little look to see if we can try and get this game working, and then take it apart. Obviously, we're doing that order just in case it doesn't go back together again. Right. Oh yeah, let's try to take. Yes, I'm getting a picture of this then. Right, as you can see, thrilling. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most exciting of games. I think when you were a kid, it was alright for a bit. I think they were not exactly cheap, so yeah, it's not the greatest entertainment value, I suspect. Anyway, I mean, what we'll do is we'll take a quick look inside. I'm not expecting that much in there, but hey, we'll have a look. Alright, well, first of all, we'll just remove the batteries. It takes 3 AA's. No screws inside there, so that's good. The nice, relatively clean. I think these have been bent a little bit, so possibly they were suffering from bad contact at some point. Now, the two SepTandy videos I'm doing, I was expecting them both to be repair videos. This was marked as being dropped a battery. This was marked as being unknown, untested, and with something that just uses a couple of batteries, that's always a bit suspicious. But it would appear that that's indeed what the state of it was untested, because it worked completely fine out of the box. The next one, fortunately, is definitely broken, and it requires quite a lot of work as well, so that hopefully will make a slightly more in-depth video. But anyway. Right, there we go. The bottom that was going to come off. It's this really annoying construction where the battery contacts are soldered to the actual PCB. So yeah, so this is obviously the main visualizer unit, which we'll take a look at in a second. We've got some speakers here. So I guess it is stereo, technically. Yeah, this is just a piece of Perspex, which lets the light in. I wonder if we can replace that. We probably can. And let's undo some of the screws around the visualizer. So there we go. So the whole visualizer unit now comes off. Right. So yeah, this is quite interesting then. So the backdrop is just a fixed thing inside there. So these ones don't use 2 LCDs, which I guess might be an earlier model or something. I'm sure some of them do. But there's also a right-angled mirror in there. And I guess this down here will be the screen that shows the actual planes. And that is projected to that 45-degree mirror. So kind of like Pepper's Ghost, effectively. So it will look like it's appearing in front of the main screen, and obviously just 2 plastic lenses just to magnify what's in there. So very simple, quite cool. Yeah, not very much on here. A few resistors, caps, and a couple of transistors, and this main bit here, which will obviously be the brains behind everything. So let's see if we can get something close up there. Oh, look at that, we lost one of the speaker wires, so that will have to be resoldered. Blimey, that is not good. Now we should be able to remove all of this. And this is all connected. So we'll put this over here for a second. Right, and so there's all of the graphics, I guess, which are lit up by the top light well. I can't turn this over because all these will fall out. And there's the button contacts using the carbon pads like we've seen in many devices. Right, so let's see if I can just kind of arrange this so we can actually see anything. Yeah, so that's an LCD panel there. So that's the front of the LCD panel. So I guess that's being lit up by... Okay, yes, that's being lit by a light in there, which also projects that. And, oh, well, this is just a flat, I guess some kind of flash chip, because it literally says biplane 7709 on it, so some kind of masked flash chip. Huh. Very interesting. So I think what I'll do is I will go and resolder this speaker wire back on and then put it back together, and then we'll do a summary. And there we have it. That was Tandy's rebranded version of the Tommytronic 3D Sky Duel. It works now. And if I turn it on, in fact, I think that wire may have already been broken, because there's definitely actual stereo sound in the sense that it's separated, so you get sound coming from this side depending on where the planes are, which is really cool. So if I just start that. There we go, it works. It does honestly work as well, which is good. It's always a concern when you take apart these old things that they will just break. Anyway, will be one more video from us for the for SepTandy, but there will also be a whole host of other videos, like we said at the beginning. Don't forget to look at the hashtag SepTandy tag on YouTube to find many good videos, especially if you're here looking for computer stuff, which is obviously what we mostly do, because there will be a whole host of them on that hashtag over the course of September. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like the video, please hit like. If you really like the video, please hit subscribe. If you didn't like the video or you have something else to say, then please leave it in the comments below. And don't forget, you can join our membership on YouTube or join us on Patreon to get early access to videos and exclusive videos and behind the scenes images and all sorts of things. And don't forget to hit the bell icon to be told when any videos are released, so you get to see them as soon as they're out there and fresh, which is good for me. See you next time.
Horrible. The future looks bleak. Remember our childhood to get us through the week. We're getting re-enthused. Back to the past and the things we used. We all know that our pasts were great. Escaping the things that today we hate. Getting re-enthused. Getting re-enthused.